What's up, guys? This is Ty Zen. Welcome to our cryptocurrency.market channel. This is a trading, investing, and entrepreneurship channel. In this video, guys, I want to talk about the questions that we like to ask when we are looking at a cryptocurrency project team, the questions we ask ourselves before we put money into that cryptocurrency project, okay? So let me pull up my notes here real quick. Okay, so to help explain these 7 questions that I'm going to ask, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use our team, myself, the Honorable Grandmaster, legendary, world-renowned LeonFu.com as an example, and our third business partner, David, okay? I'm going to share with you guys how we came together as business partners, how we evaluated each other, and how we came about to start the cryptocurrency.market channel. Many of you guys recognize myself, and you guys recognize the Honorable Grandmaster LeonFu.com, but some of you guys may not recognize David, since he was always in the background and preferred to just remain in the background. And I'll elaborate on what his role is and what he's doing in the background of our company and our business. And the reason why I think that it's important that you guys understand this is so that I think that we can serve as a good example of what to ask, the right questions to ask, and what to evaluate when you are looking at a cryptocurrency project. The reason why we're comparing our business to these cryptocurrency projects that you would want to consider investing in is because, like the Honorable Grandmaster Charles Hoskinson said, he's one of the few people that gets the blockchain space, and he was saying that that we need to invest into people, okay? The people behind the cryptocurrency project, or the people behind the company, the blockchain company that we want to invest in, that's what we need to consider, and not so much the tech behind it, okay? You got all these dumbasses that don't understand business, don't understand sales, don't understand marketing and stuff, and they think it's all about the tech, okay? The tech is just a small component of the overall success of that cryptocurrency project. The key to success behind that cryptocurrency project is the people behind it, okay? So I got 7 questions here that we like to ask before we put our money into a cryptocurrency project, okay? The first question is, does the project, do the team members have a similar financial goal, okay? Now notice I said that, do the team members have a similar financial goal? And I did not ask if the team members had the similar tech goals, okay? The reason why is that whenever a cryptocurrency project says that we're gonna make this to change the world and all that other shit, we really don't pay too much attention to that. That's just a bunch of fluff. You gotta understand when a team is saying something that is fluff and stuff that is real in the world, okay? And the way that a project succeeds, a technology is nothing more, a blockchain technology is nothing more than a product or else a service, okay? It's one of those two. What are you selling? Are you selling a product or are you selling a service? So for example, whenever we provide the cryptocurrency investing blueprint, which I believe is the #1 and the undisputed best, a training program for people who want to seriously learn how to invest or trade in the cryptocurrency market, right? That is a product that our company and our business provides to the public, okay? Now, we have other services such as the OTC trade desk service that we provide to other cryptocurrency traders and investors. So that is a service, okay? So whenever we look at these cryptocurrency projects, the first thing that we want to ask, that I want to ask is, hey, what is the product or the service that they are providing or they are selling to the public, okay? So if you guys ask us, hey, Ty, what does your business provide or sell to the public? So we have the cryptocurrency investing blueprint that you can check out and get from our website, or the cryptocurrency investing bootcamp, which is a 4-day bootcamp, and the cryptocurrency investing blueprint is a video recording of that 4-day event. Okay, for the people, for whatever logistics or scheduling issue, they could not attend the 4-day bootcamp training, then they can get the video, a copy of it, and learn from that. Okay, And then we have the OTC trade desk service, which allows us to help traders and investors acquire or buy or sell their cryptocurrencies. Okay. Right now, we're only licensed in a few states, so check with us to make sure that we are licensed in your state before we make any transactions with you. Okay. So now, when Leon and David and I, we were all cryptocurrency traders and investors long before we got into the business building side of the blockchain space. And when we got together, Leon was building software for a bunch of companies. Like, he's done freelance software work. He's a senior level software engineer, so he's built written code and built software for many companies. And the last one that he was at before he was able to retire and leave and then start our business was a company called Dell Computers. Okay, and he was a very high level senior software engineer at Dell Computers. They had offered him, he was making a very high six-figure salary there, and they were offering him a management role where I think that it was in the range of like close to it was above $350, $375, $400,000 range with bonuses if he chose to stay there at Dell Computers and serve as in the managerial role. Okay, so that was where he was at. And then David was a former he worked on the Microsoft Xbox project, and then he left that to pursue his trading and dreams and learn to become a trader. And he was working at the top trading school in America, and I was working there also. So he and I worked together there, and that's how we got together. Now, we came together, me and LeonFu.com were friends for many years from the time that we were single and chasing girls in the club district in the city of Austin, which is located in the state of Texas, which is in the southern part of the United States of America. And he and I had been friends for nearly a decade, and we did not do any business together. We were not business partners or anything. And when I worked at the trading school with David, I noticed that he was a really high-level instructor, teaching the stocks, people how to trade stocks, futures, and options. Okay, and he was really good in that arena, and he was one of the top instructors they had there to teach people how to trade and become profitable in the options market. And I was learning a lot from him, and he and I worked together for many years, teaching people how to trade stocks and options and stuff like that. And I noticed there was one thing about him, out of the 150 instructors at the trading school, there was one thing that I noticed about him, okay, and that he was always hungry to learn more and become a better trader and make more money in trading. And he was making products and software products and solutions for the trading school to help their students. And at the same time, I was doing sales and I was doing the trading coaching at the school. And one thing that we both had in common was we both loved to trade. We were always, every time we got together, we were always talking about how to improve our trading skills. He would share with me what he was learning from teaching the students and learning from other trading instructors. And I was always giving him feedback with what I was learning from the students as I was coaching them. Okay, so we were always collaborating and helping each other become better traders. But it wasn't until I noticed that he was creating software and other spreadsheets and all kinds of stuff and specialized trading calculators and real estate calculators for the school. And he was frustrated because he spent weeks and weeks and months building these really badass spreadsheets and calculators for the school, and he got paid a few $100 for it, right? And here I was building out different sales training processes for the school also, and I was not getting paid for it, right? So he and I said, hey, you know what? We're building all these valuable content as spreadsheets, calculators, sales processes, and all this other stuff, and we were not being compensated for it. And on top of that, I was telling the school that, hey, this cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin stuff, this is going to be a new asset class, and we need to make a education program, a class specifically just to teach our students how to trade, you know, not just stocks, futures, forex, and options, but also Bitcoins and cryptocurrencies. And all the executives and everyone just laughed at me like I was a stupid fucking idiot, you know, like I was the dumbest idiot there. And, you know, I remember one guy, you know, even taking his camera, his iPhone, and he was filming me, and he was like, okay, Ty, go ahead and tell me about the Bitcoin again. And he was filming me, and then he was telling me how, and then he played it back, and he goes, you see that? You see how stupid you sound talking about some stupid shit Bitcoin, right? And he'd play it, and he goes, can you see it? Can you see how stupid you look, okay? And, you know, I just brushed it off. You know, I knew what was going on. I knew that, you know, that this was, the Bitcoin technology was solving a very massive clearing and settlement issue that was occurring on Wall Street. So I never let any of that dumb shit that the executives were saying change my mind or influence it. I was very aware of the problem that was on Wall Street, and I was very aware of what the Bitcoin technology was able to solve, right? So because of that, I explained that to David, and he was able to see that. And the combination of that, he and I said, hey, you know what, we keep repeating ourselves. Every week, every month, we keep teaching the same, you know, different students how to trade stocks, you know, how to trade Forex, how to trade futures, how to trade options. Why don't we go out there and we start our own trading, you know, education company where we build software and we create videos to teach people so that we don't have to go to every major city and do it over and over every week. Because David and I were going to each city, and on average we would teach like 20 to 30 new traders each week. We would do quote unquote 7-day boot camps, right, training to do with this. But the one thing that he and I did not like was that we didn't like the fact that we spent 7 weeks with them, train them, and then we did not have any continuing follow-ups with them. And we knew that if we didn't follow up with the students, they would get lost, they would get astray, and they'll do a bunch of stupid shit that we didn't want, right? So David and I had been bouncing ideas back and forth. Hey man, you know, I wish there was a way that we can teach people how to trade and have some kind of quote-unquote blueprint or boot camp to teach people how to trade, and we can follow up with them and help them along the way through several market cycles, you know, bull markets, bear markets, so that they can understand and learn how that's done correctly. And so it got to the point where Bitcoin had gotten, like, by the time David and I had been talking about that since Bitcoin was like in the I think $100, $200 range, and by the time it got to $800, $900 range, you know, I kept telling David on one side when I was working with him that, man, it would be cool if we had a business where we built the software ourselves and the videos ourselves and the training program ourselves, and then provide it online to anybody that wanted access to it. And then we can use the internet technology to follow up and work with the students and coach them on the technicals and the processes and the systems on how to build their trading system to become profitable using the internet technology. So a small team of us can help hundreds of people out there in the world more efficiently, instead of just flying into every city and living at hotels and teaching people how to trade like that, right? So on the other side, David, Leon and I, we were thinking about the same thing. I was talking to Leon, and he was talking about how he'd spent all his life building software for someone else, right? And I said, hey man, you're one of the best software engineers out there. We should get together and build software, right? And Leon was like, well, what kind of software do we build? And he didn't know what kind of software we needed to build. So I told David and I had this idea that, hey, you know what? Why don't we, all three of us, come together and we'll build some software, we'll build some educational videos, and that we can sell and provide to the public for people who are serious about learning to trade in Bitcoins and cryptocurrencies, and go from there. We'll invest time and money, you know, and build it one time, and then we can repeat and get recurring income from it, you know, moving forward into the future. And that was the key. We all had the same financial goals, that we wanted to build a product, of a digital product, whether it was books, DVDs, software, and be able to sell that to the public, and then get recurring income from it each month on top of the trading and the investing that we were already doing, okay? Since we were already doing it, we might as well share that, package that information and sell it to other people and provide it to other people, and the ones that wanted to benefit from it can compensate us for our time, our experience, and our expertise and our guidance, okay? So that was what we wanted. And today, I'm happy to say that we have the cryptocurrency investing blueprint. If you're interested in it, you can go check it out at www.cryptocurrency.market/blueprint. If you're interested in getting you a copy, I highly recommend that if you are serious about learning how to trade and invest in the cryptocurrency market, I highly recommend that you get you a copy so you can learn from our mistakes and not step on the same landmines in the blockchain space like our team did, okay? So that's the first question that I would consider asking that cryptocurrency project is everyone on that team on the same page with their financial goals? If they're out there to try to change the world and all this other stupid shit, all this, airy-fairy, fairy tale bullshit, I would hesitate, about that project. I want to invest in a project that is going to solve a serious problem that the market wants solved, and the market is willing to pay for it to solve. Okay, when we first created the cryptocurrency investing blueprint and the cryptocurrency investing bootcamp, we did not know for sure if the market wanted it or not. So we put a price tag on it, right? And we said, hey, here's, if you guys are willing to send us, $25,000 per person and provide it to us, if we get this amount of people, then we'll start the bootcamp. We'll rent a hotel conference, have the class, print the training manuals and everything. And we put up the Bitcoin address and people sent Bitcoins us to it. And that's how we got started. We tested the market to see if this is a product or a service that the market wanted. And then, we had all in here that, hey, this is what the market wants, but we didn't know for sure if the market was willing to pay for it or not. Because if they're not willing to pay for it, we don't need to spend any time or money and build out that product or that service if the market does not want it, okay? And how do we know that the market wants it? We know because the market is willing to pay us and give us Bitcoins for it, okay? That's how you know if the market wants your product or your service or not, because someone is willing to pay for it, okay? Now, that's the thing. Like some of these cryptocurrency projects out there, there's like over 2,000 of them. Some of them, you give it to people and they don't even want it. Like there's cryptocurrency projects where they give out their tokens for free, and you notice you don't even bother going to redeem them. They airdrop it on your blockchain, and you don't even bother going to even look at it, inspect it, read up on it, or follow up on it. Because what that says is that the market does not want that coin. The market does not want that token, okay? So we look at it and we see, hey, is everybody on that cryptocurrency project on the same page in creating a product or a service or a token or a coin or a blockchain or a cryptocurrency that the market wants? And usually it's for financial reasons. If they're doing it to save the whales or save climate change or none of that other stupid shit like that, I would really hesitate to invest into that project, because like that's just airy-fairy bullshit, man. Like you can't make money, life-changing profits off of, all that stuff, okay? We don't know how to do that. Maybe other channel knows how to make money off saving the whales or saving the frogs in California or something. We don't know how to do that, okay? So because of that, we are not going to share with you guys how to do that, because we don't know how to do that, okay? So if we don't know something, I'm gonna let you know. If we know something, I'm gonna let you know also, okay? Now, the second question, once you realize, let me give you examples of people who are on the same page and people who are not on the same page. For example, there was a project called Scenario, okay? It's like a social, we would put that in the social media bucket, right? Along with Steemit, along with the Props project, along with several other social media projects that are trying to tackle the social media arena in the cryptocurrency space, right? So the guys in the Scenario, you got one guy who was the CEO and another guy who's a CTO, and they clash and they argue, and they had a huge fight online. Why they even broadcast it online, I have no idea. But they were, airing their dirty laundry, you can say, on the air so everybody can see it. And because of that, it crashed the price and it caused a lot of problems. That is a good example of the founders of the company, the founders of the project that are not on the same page. They're not going in the same direction. those projects, I had to sell those coins because I bought it after it crashed just to see if maybe there's a recovery, but they were never able to recover from that. Okay, so because of that, I dumped that coin, moved on to something else, and that was another lesson I learned. Okay, here's another project, right? There's several other ones, right? For example, right? The guys at Bitcoin Cash, right? They wanted to fork away from Bitcoin Core. They forked away, and then within the Bitcoin Cash community, because there's no governance in Bitcoin, there's no governance is a system or a process for the entire community to come to a final and binding resolution, or a final and binding decision, meaning that it's going to conclude and then it's going to be applied to the blockchain. Okay, since they don't have that in Bitcoin like they do in something like Decred, they're always going to have problems where one faction is going to split off this way and another faction split off another way. As we can see, the Bitcoin Core, the Bitcoin originally was just one community, and it split into Bitcoin Core and then Bitcoin Cash, and then over here within the Bitcoin Cash community, it split again into Bitcoin Cash SV and then Bitcoin Cash ABC, or whatever they want to call it. Okay, so that's going to continue to happen because the people on there don't have a common goal, a common financial goal. Okay, so that's very important that the project that we put our money into has a very common goal towards it. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is the second question is, does the team work hard or are they lazy? Okay, so let me share with you our example, and then I'll talk about some of the cryptocurrency project examples. So when myself, the Honorable Grandmaster LeonFu.com, and David decided to become business partners, right? We were working on our project full time. Like when we realized that people wanted the cryptocurrency investing bootcamp, the 4-day training from us, I remember me and Leon was up till 2-3 o'clock in the morning for several days, several weeks in a row, building out the curriculum, the content, writing the training manual, and doing all this stuff, right? And on the day of the 4-day boot camp that we had, the first one we had in Los Angeles, right? I remember he and I, we were teaching the boot camp during the day, and then at night when we got back to the hotel room at 9-10 o'clock at night, we were still making revisions to the PowerPoint slides, and we were up till like 1 or 2 o'clock almost every night of the boot camp, and then getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go teach the boot camp. And I'm sharing this with you guys about our team members, okay? Not to brag about how hard our team members work or how hard I work or anything, but it shows that our team members were dedicated to working and committed, and we didn't have a lazy bone in us. We had a product that we had to get out to our clients and to our customers, and we worked our ass off to get it out there. Okay, now long before we became business partners, right, I saw let me share with you guys what I saw. Okay, first of all, for myself personally, what David and Leon liked was that they realized that even though I had come out of prison, for drugs, right? After nearly 14 years of being locked up in prison, I was more focused on making money. I didn't run out there and get drunk every night. I didn't go out there and party on the weekends. I didn't chase after, poontang, chase after women and all that other stuff. I was focused on making money and rebuilding my life and getting back on my feet and making a better financial life for myself. And there was many times where we could have all went out to party and have fun and stuff, and instead, me and Leon would go and spend time learning about the cryptocurrency space, the financial markets, the stock markets. We went and took classes together to learn how to trade and invest in the traditional stock Forex futures market. And so they saw this in me, that even though I did not have a lot of money at that time, I still invested time, energy, and what little money I had into myself, into getting educated, right? And they knew that it was only a matter of time before, I rose to the top, because there's no way that I can do that every day, week in, week out, month in, month out, and not go to the top of the financial pyramid, okay? Now, on the other side, on the flip side, when I saw Leon, right, when I saw him coding and stuff, he would work until 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning on certain projects, and when there was an emergency and the software was messed up and they hired him to come in and patch it, fix it, recode it, whatever it was he was doing, right? I saw him work relentlessly, nonstop. I would call him up sometimes and he says, man, I can't talk to you right now. I gotta get this, a project out, and done. Customers need it. And so I saw that hard work and that dedication, okay? And then with David, I saw him when I was working at the stock trading school. He didn't have a lazy bone. Like, he was finished with work at class at 5 o'clock, and I would see him stay there and help out students until 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. And and I was standing there watching this. I realized this guy is very dedicated. He's not lazy. He's willing to put in the extra hours that the company was not even paying him for, right? And he was putting in just to help out the students. And I saw that, and I liked that because it shows he was not lazy. He didn't wait to get paid in order to provide value to other people. And I watched that for many years, and that's why I said, hey man, this guy would make a good business partner because he's not lazy. He's willing to work and do what it takes. So now, if we're using that as an example, now let's take a look at the cryptocurrency projects, right? Let's take, for example, this guy Vitalik Buterin, okay? When I first met him and LeonFu.com first met him back in January of 2014, right? I remember we saw this guy at the Texas Bitcoin conference, and this little young kid, he was like 19 years old or 20 years old at that time, he was going from one person to the next person, from one group to the next group, and he was sharing his dream, his vision for the Ethereum blockchain, and he was spreading that, he was promoting it, and he was educating the public about it. He was talking to other software engineers, he was talking to us. You guys can go and review it. We were the first trading and investing channel that I know of at that time to interview Vitalik about investing into his project and suggesting that people consider supporting his project right there back then. We were the only ones that were crazy enough to do that. You got a lot of these clowns that just got into crypto and they talk shit about everything. It's easy now because everybody knows that cryptocurrency is no longer, is here to stay, right? But back in 2014, everybody was still scared shitless about it, and we were the only channels out there to even talk about it. You won't find any other videos of any other traders or investors on the internet that I know of, right, that is going to tell you to consider, putting money into the Ethereum project back in January of 2014. So screw all the guys that say that they've been in this game for a long time. We got video documentary showing us talking and interviewing Vitalik and recommending it to our subscribers, to look into this guy and his project, okay? So anyways, the other thing too is that so that's one place where we saw this guy was dedicated, and he was there, right? And he was serious, and he did whatever he could. He was on stage, he was off stage. The whole time that he was there, didn't have a lazy bone in him. He was talking to everybody and anybody that he could to educate them about the Ethereum project, okay? So the other thing too was that if you look at Bitcoin magazine that Vitalik used to run, the dude used to write tons and tons and tons of articles for that, right? That takes up a lot of time and a lot of research, okay? So this guy was prolific. He was working his ass off as a teenager. He could have been out there, screwing around, jacking off, right? Chasing tail, sit around and play, video games and eat fucking Cheetos or potato chips in his mama's basement. But instead, he was out there pushing his dream and his vision onto the world of this new blockchain technology and this, smart, computer or stuff like that, okay? So that shows hard work, and those are the projects that we want to invest into, okay? These bullshit projects where the guys raise money, millions of dollars, and you see them on yachts and sailboats every day, man, we are not interested in those projects because those guys are not working their ass off, okay? Projects like, for example, here's another one, Cardano. Look at Charles Hoskinson, man. He is going to go down in history, guys, as one of the great thinkers, the great innovators, and one of the greatest, blockchain software engineers on the fucking planet, okay? Mark my words on that. When they go down in history as the who's who, right, of blockchain, right, they are going to be talking about Charles Hoskinson, right? Like they talk about Thomas Edison, they're going to talk about him like they talk about the Rockefellers. They're going to talk about him like they talk about, Tesla. Okay, they're going to talk about him like they talk about Elon Musk or Steve Jobs. The key, guys, is not to recognize the talent after everybody's already recognized it. The key is to recognize talent in people while it is budding and coming up. Okay, and we saw that in Charles Hoskinson back in the days when he and Vitalik were telling everybody and educating people about the Ethereum project, and that's why nowadays whatever he comes out with, we are going to invest into it. Why? Because the man got talent, and you know what? when people got talented at that, it's worth it to place a small bet on them to see where they are going with that talent. Even if they fail, even if they do 10 projects and they fail at 5 or 6 of them, all it takes is one project to succeed and you're going to the moon. And with guys like, Charles Hoskinson, he's always successful with the Ethereum project. He's always successful with the Cardano project. Some people just got success in them, okay? They just sweat success, okay? So because of that, we are investing. So keep in mind that, okay? Number 3 question, right? Is the team committed to success, okay? Let me use our team as an example so that you guys can relate with it, and then I'll use some of the examples from the cryptocurrency market projects. I mean, the other crypto projects, okay? So, in the beginning, right, one of the things that we did was that I had started other projects, right? The cryptocurrency.market website is like the 58th website that I started, right? There's dozens of other websites that I started that failed and never made any money, okay? And for the decade of time that I knew leonfu.com, he knew that. He knew that I started one, website after another, and they failed, and I never quit and gave up. I'd go start something else, learn my lesson, and go start a new website, do some other business, and do stuff. So he knew me since I came out of prison. Like, I was always starting new projects to see which one would succeed. And, he never laughed at me. He never thought, he just thought that, I was serious and I was committed to succeeding, right, in making money and making life-changing money. So he respected that and kept, followed me along the years and knew that I was doing these things. And he always appreciated and respected the fact that I never quit and gave up no matter how much I failed, okay? 58 websites, guys, before I became successful with cryptocurrency.market, okay? Lost a bunch of money on all the other 58 websites. It didn't matter because the money that I made off of cryptocurrency.market was dozens and hundreds of times more than what I made from all the other losses, all the other 57 websites that were unsuccessful, okay? So, the other thing too is this, right? Now, on the flip side, right, when I saw Leon, right, Leon, he was always freaking looking for ways to make money. He was committed. He invested money into Apple when they first came out with the iPhone back in 2009. He was buying Apple stocks. When Tesla came out, he was buying their stocks. He just had a knack, right? And he never quit and gave up. Some of the stocks that he invested in, he failed, but then he would go to school, learn about it, like I did, go get training, learn how to trade. That's the key, guys. Get educated, okay? And he would recover from his mistakes and go back and try it again. So all the decade that I knew him, he was always looking for ways to better his game in trading and investing in the stock market, okay? So same thing with David, right? David was the same thing. He was so committed that he was willing to leave a high 6-figure job, right, at Microsoft, working on the Xbox project, right, to come over, right? Now, keep in mind, guys, David was no chump at Microsoft. He was able to help them get several patents for the Xbox project, okay? So that's not easy to do. There's not too many engineers that can claim that they helped, a company, a Fortune 500 company, get patents on the products that they were working on, okay? So he was, directly responsible for helping them get several patents made for for the Xbox project. And I used to ask David, I remember asking him, he and I having this conversation where I would say, hey man, like, when are you starting to get copyrights and trademarks and patents for yourself, man? Like, you're making all these spreadsheets and all these trading calculators for the trading school. You're getting all these patents and everything for Xbox and Microsoft. When are you going to look into getting patents for your own products and your own services, man? And that's what really triggered him. And he says, man, you're right, man. I spent all my life getting patents and copyrights and trademarks for somebody else, building the intellectual property for them. You know what? Fuck that shit. I'm gonna start building intellectual property, software, educational programs for me and for my team members, okay? And that's how we became business partners, okay? And it showed he was committed. Why? Because David was willing to leave the trading, he was willing to leave Microsoft Xbox project and go work at the trading school. And when he realized that he needed to start building products and getting trademarks and building intellectual property for himself and not for someone else, right? He was willing to leave the trading school and join me and join the Honorable Grandmaster, legendary, world-renowned LeonFu.com to build our company, cryptocurrency.market. And from there, And Leon was willing to leave the school, the Dell Computers, which was paying him a very high six-figure income, right, as a senior software engineer. And I was willing to leave the trading school as well. And so we were all committed. We were all going to cut ties with the companies that we were working for and leave that. Now, keep in mind, guys, I have to throw in a caveat or a disclaimer in there, okay? We also made some really good trades and made some really good money from our trading in the cryptocurrency space also at the same time. So we were very comfortable in leaving our day jobs because we knew that we had enough money from trading in the cryptocurrency space to continue, okay? And again, I want to do a quick plug for our cryptocurrency investing blueprint. If you guys want to learn how we did it, and how we were able to retire early and go build our own business instead of working for someone else and waking up and being a slave to the alarm clock every day, go check out www.cryptocurrency.market/blueprint, okay? And then you can learn there how we did it, all right? So the other thing, the fourth question, right, that in addition to being the team members committed to success, the fourth question that I want to share with you guys that we need to ask is, can the team put aside their ego and accept positive criticism? Okay, that was extremely important because I mentioned to you guys that I had started like 58 websites before cryptocurrency.market became successful and financially successful for me and the team, right? For me personally also, right? The other ones failed because I recruited team members that I wanted, business partners that I wanted to work with, and some of them had a huge problem with their ego, okay? Like when there was shit that needed to change or we needed to adapt to the markets, they couldn't handle it, right? And when I would tell them, hey, this is not good, this is better, or hey, this I think is better, or this is better, or this is not gonna work, or this, right? There was always ego issues and people would puff out their chest and like, fuck you, screw you, my ego is bigger, so I'm not gonna do it, blah, blah, blah. And it took forever to get things changed so that we can adapt to the market conditions, right? So because of that, right, that's why I didn't succeed. And one of the key things that I wanted to focus on was that when the next time I had some business partners or start a business together, I wanted business partners who did not have ego issues. Like, hey man, this shit is no fucking good, we need to change it. A is no good, we need to do B, okay? Method A is no good, we need to use method B or come up with some new method, right? And one of the things that I appreciated was that many of you guys don't know this, but in the background, if you guys hear the conversations that me and Leon have, or me and David have, or the three of us have, sometimes they are extremely heated, and you swear to God that we are not business partners and that we are not friends, right? Because I mean, it's a battle back and forth, right? Sometimes I want, hey man, we should teach this concept in our cryptocurrency investing blueprint, and David might say, nah man, that shit is too goddamn confusing, we need to simplify that, or we need to eliminate that, and instead of teaching it here in the program, we need to teach it way over here when people have more understand more of it. Or I would argue, no, we should put that here at the beginning of the curriculum because for ease of learning purposes, it would be better over here, move this over here. Or hey man, this is too risky, we can't teach that because the chances of somebody losing all their money is too high. Yeah, but it's very profitable when they do it right. Yeah, but the risk of them losing all their account is much higher than the risk of them doubling their account. Okay, let's agree on that. We'll eliminate that shit from the program altogether, and then we'll wait until after we've coached them for 6-7 months, and then we'll introduce that concept into them. At that point, we'll know that they have enough experience to apply that concept, okay? So this is a heated battle that goes back and forth in us constructing the cryptocurrency investing blueprint, right? But no matter how much we debate it, no matter how heated the debates are or the discussions are, at the end, when we are done, right, we still go out, have fun, and party together, and we are still good friends together. And we know that, hey man, that's just, we get in those heated debates and discussions, right, simply because we want to protect the users and the students that we have that use the cryptocurrency investing blueprint, and we don't want them to get hurt, okay? So that's what it was for, right? And we were able to do it and communicate between the three of us, right? And it's okay. And since there's three of us, as long as two of us agree on it, majority wins, and that third person that loses out on the vote, he's not butthurt about it, and we continue moving forward with our product development, okay? So because of that, that's the reason why I believe that we have what I believe is the best, cryptocurrency investing blueprint to educate new traders and seasoned traders on how to properly trade and invest in the market out there for that. Okay, so that's the ego. Okay, now let's talk about a blockchain project who had huge ego issues and could not come together. Okay, one is the Ethereum project. Right, when the Ethereum project got together, there was originally 8 co-founders, and one of them was Charles Hoskinson, and he proposed that the project is not going to survive for very long if they just raise money, right, and then just spend that money and that's it. He said that there has to be a financial component to the Ethereum blockchain, and he proposed setting up a non-profit foundation to build the software, and then build a for-profit foundation or entity to market and sell the software as a service to other people, right? And this is the for-profit side to develop the Ethereum project, to help businesses integrate Ethereum into their business. And this is the non-profit side that actually writes the code and does the engineering and builds the software, okay? So one is the sales and marketing side, and one is the development and engineering side, okay? They didn't like it. The rest of the guys, a lot of the guys on the other 7 co-founders of Ethereum did not like that idea. They wanted to have this bullshit fantasy idea of changing the world, saving the whales, changing the climate change and all that other dumb shit, right? And they said, nah, you don't need no money, if we raise enough money, we got to do it on goodwill and bullshit like that, right? And so they pushed Charles Hoskinson out, and then he went and did his own thing, right? And that was the reason why it split up. Now, after they raised the $18 million to build the Ethereum blockchain project, and the market crashed afterwards, right? They started running out of money, and guess what they had to do, right? They had to go and they just barely got saved. The Ethereum project, guys, almost failed, and it was just by sheer luck that Microsoft decided to include them on the Azure network or some shit like that, and boom, that's when people got excited and they started, the price of Ethereum shot up, and it's all history after that. And then when they started getting the price of Ethereum went back up, the guys in the Ethereum, they went and started Consensus. Okay, Joe Lubin and them went and started Consensus, and that was the for-profit side that Charles Hoskinson had proposed all along. Okay, so they kicked them out and said, nah, that's a stupid idea. We don't need a for-profit side. And guess what they did after they started realizing that they were going to the project was going to die out because they had no money for funding? That's when they went and started Consensus. Okay, and that's what Consensus is for, right? So there's an example there where the guys in the same team all had ego issues, and they couldn't move forward beyond that because of the ego issues. So that's one of the questions that I highly recommend that you guys ask is, do the team members have ego, like the founders and the executive team on that project, right? The foot soldiers, it doesn't matter if they have egos or not, but it's the core members of the team. So I am very grateful that I got Leon and David, and they do not have the ego issues. Like, dude, I swear to God, if you guys can listen in on the phone conversations that me and Leon have, they're so heated, right? You swear that there's no way that we can be friends, right? And it's all just to make the cryptocurrency investing blueprint better for our students, okay? So it's not like it's some crazy shit, right? So question number 5, guys, is can the team adapt, okay? So check this out, right? We were originally, right? We originally started our channel just to share the cryptocurrency.market channel. In 2013, there was nobody talking about trading and investing in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Okay, back then it was just Bitcoin. Back in late 2012, early 2013, and so myself, I had a trading background, and when I tried to do research on trading and investing in Bitcoin, right, there was no reliable information. Like, there was nobody making videos about it back then, right? And so when I started going to TradingView to look at what other traders were doing, I noticed that there was a bunch of kids on there that had no clue about trading stocks, forex, futures, options, nothing. And here they are trying to help each other learn how to trade Bitcoin. And I said, man, this is like some of the information that they were putting on there. They were not intentionally doing it to hurt other people, but the information they had about trading was just outright wrong. I mean, it will cause you to lose a shitload of money. So because of that, I started making videos to explain to some of those people on TradingView that, hey, this is how you analyze the trend, this is how you do technical analysis and stuff like that. And you can still see some of those old videos on my channel, right? So back then, I could not find any channels on any videos on YouTube about that. So I started that just to help other people, right? And so that's why you hear a lot of people call us OGs of crypto, and that's where the term came from, is by going back, and we were the first channel that I know of to talk about trading in Bitcoins and cryptocurrencies back then, right? And then some of the people call us legends and shit. Back then, you know, my coworkers and my colleagues and some of the people online were calling us a bunch of idiots, and they called us crazy, and now they call us legends and OGs, original gangsters and shit, you know. How about that, okay? Okay, so when we started that, right, I was just doing the technical analysis, right, on that to show people how to trade. But then I quickly realized that a lot of the shorting and a lot of the stuff that we normally do in the stock market and the Forex market, they were not applicable yet in the cryptocurrency market because the exchanges hadn't built out the technology and the processes and the systems for people to safely, you know, go short and use margin, all that stuff. So we adapted, our team adapted, and then we just got rid of we didn't focus too heavily on the technical analysis part, simply because we didn't want people going in the wrong direction, and we focused instead on the things that were important to trading and investing that actually made the real money, okay? So later on, we started getting inquiries from people asking us, hey man, if we give you some money, can you guys invest it for us and manage it for us, and we can split the profits? And at first I thought, man, these guys must be crazy, they must be scammers or something. And then one day I got an email from someone who said, hey man, I'm busy with my clinic, there's no way I can, look at it, and I trust what you guys doing. I've been following you guys made some good calls, on the Ethereum project, on the Lisk project, on the Waves project, and on all this other stuff. And I said, hey, and he left his phone number there, and I remember calling him up, and I said, hey man, like why would you give me money? I'm just a random YouTuber, a random, Bitcoin trader on YouTube. And he says, man, I've been following your videos, and I know that, you guys are trustworthy people. You guys are not out to, defraud people and stuff. And I trust you guys, and I know you guys ain't gonna run off with my money. I just don't have the time to do it, because I gotta focus on my clinic and everything. But if you guys wanna take my money and go and invest, and I said, we can't do that because you have to be licensed in the U.S. to manage other people's money, and we're not licensed. We can only manage our own money and take care of our own money. And so I said, no, we can't do it. And I hung up the phone, and I remember talking to Leon, and I said, hey, Leon and I talked about this, and I said, man, there's really people out there that want to give us money to manage for them. And Leon and I came up with this idea and said, hey, Ty, since you and David, right, teach people how to trade in the stocks, forex, futures market, what do you think? I wonder if those people will actually give us money if we offer to teach them how to do it, teach them what we are doing. And so I said, you know what, let's see it. Let's try it, let's test it. So I put up a Bitcoin address and told everybody that was asking us to manage their money, I said, hey man, if you guys want us to teach you what we're doing, we'll do a boot camp in LA for 4 days and teach you guys how to do it if you guys are interested, right? And so we did that, and lo and behold, we got people sending us the Bitcoins, and that's how we started our first boot camp, right? Notice we adapted to what the market wanted. Okay, we didn't go out there and say, hey man, we'll do a boot camp for you guys, right? The market was telling us they wanted this, specialized information that LeonFu.com and I had acquired since we started early in trading and investing early, and we made the mistakes, and we made some really successful investments into, Ethereum, into Lisk, into Waves, and many other projects, into NXT as well, right? And Dogecoin as well. And so because of that, we had a bunch of people come in, and then after we finished the boot camp, we started getting inquiries from people saying, hey, we couldn't invest into coming to Los Angeles for the 4-day boot camp, right? Do you guys have a video copy of it, or when are you guys doing the next boot camp, right? It's really hard for us to get passports and visas and all this other stuff to come into America to learn the boot camp from you guys. Is there any way that you guys can record it or something, or have video footage of it? And that's when we recorded the boot camp, for that purpose, and so we adapted to what the market wanted, right? We didn't sit there and go, oh, this is what we wanted, or this is what we think the market wanted. When we listened to the market and let the market tell us that, hey, the market wanted the cryptocurrency investing blueprint. They wanted a video copy of our 4-day bootcamp, and that's what inspired us to create the cryptocurrency investing bootcamp that you can get on our website, right? So we put that out as a product, and lo and behold, when we released it during the early release, we had a huge success with that, and it was more successful than we thought of. Okay, so that's why we continue to develop on it, and we continue to upgrade it and make it better. Just for that, if you have an interest in it, go to www.cryptocurrency.market/blueprint and get you a copy there. It contains all our knowledge and experience and what we've done to get us to succeed in the cryptocurrency market and be able to retire early and not be a slave to the alarm clock every morning anymore. Okay, so that's adapting to the markets. Okay, now here is an example of a blockchain project or a blockchain team that did not adapt to the markets. Okay, so Bitcoin was moving along, right, and they could not adapt to the markets. Okay, they were missing a governance system in their blockchain. Okay, and instead of identifying that and acknowledging that they had an issue, and just so you guys know, just a quick reminder, a governance system is a system or a process that allows everyone in the community to come to a final and binding decision. Remember that's very key right there. Final and binding, meaning that, okay, this is the end of it, everybody done voted or everybody done made the decision, and it's binding that this is what we're going to implement. Okay, so because of that, right, they ended up forking and becoming Bitcoin Core, Bitcoin Cash, and then later on they split up again from Bitcoin Cash ABC and then Bitcoin Cash SV. Okay, so that's that. They did not acknowledge that they had a final decision-making process issue, and that's how they're going to continue forking, guys. That's not going to stop. Okay, they're going to continue to fork. Okay, one is because they don't have a governance process in place to make a final and binding decision, and number two, it's profitable because every time they split, they get more coins and is able to get listed on the exchange almost immediately, and they make money off of that. So they are going to continue doing that. Anything at a time you do something that becomes a profit, people are going to continue doing it. Okay, so that's the thing, and you got to learn how to adapt, guys. Okay, can the team adapt? Okay, we could adapt. Bitcoin Core couldn't adapt, and that's why they forked up into 3-4 different teams now, right? Number 6, guys, is the team continually getting educated to stay current. Okay, on our team right now, you don't see, you see me doing a lot of the broadcasting. You don't see Leon on here too much unless there's something important that he and I get on here and we share it with the community, right? The reason is because he's in the background doing research. Every day he's doing research to get educated on what the blockchain space and the crypto space is doing, so he can update me and David on what's going on so that we make the right decisions on our channel and in our investing portfolio. Okay, now, right, we get educated constantly. Even right now, right, I have a network of traders and instructors from the school that I used to work with. I still keep in contact with them. Every time I run into a problem in trading, right, I'll reach out to them. Hey man, like I'm running into this issue. What do you think? Like, you got any suggestions, right? The problem is, the reason why I'm running into a lot of issues and it's very difficult to solve in trading is because this is the first time that I've gotten into a large portfolio size that a lot of the instructors that used to teach me and mentor me, they have not gotten to this portfolio size. Okay, so they don't know what to do when someone has a portfolio at the level that I'm at and that our team is at and our clients are at. So we have to figure that out as we go along, because there's not too many people in the world that have large trading portfolios where they run into the problems that we are running into. Okay, you got people that know how to solve problems for a $50,000, $100,000, $500,000 portfolio, but when you reach into the multiple seven-figure portfolio range, right? It's not too many people in the world know how to trade a portfolio that size. So it's not like you can go into the internet or pick up a phone and call someone and ask someone and figure it out. So we have to do the testing ourselves and make the mistakes and then report it back to our cryptocurrency investing bootcamp and the cryptocurrency investing blueprint clients and customers. We have to share that with them, and that's why we have that, and we share that with them, because we know that there's not too many. Where are you going to find people to help you solve, issues that come up when you're managing a big portfolio, right? The guys that know about it, they're not going to go out there and share it with you for free, okay? Ain't nobody going to go share with you and show you how to manage a multiple 7-figure, 8-figure portfolio for free, okay? They're not. If they do, something's wrong there. There's something missing in the picture, right? When I figure out how to do it, I am going to charge somebody else to share that information with them. I'm not going to share that information for free because that costs me a shitload of money and time for me and my team to figure it out. And I'm not going to share that for free with anybody. Okay, that's just the reality of it, and no one is either. Okay, so that's just the reality of how trading is done out there in the world, right? You can get information for free on low-level shit on how to manage or trade a $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 portfolio, but once you get in the bigger portfolios, ain't nobody teaching you that shit for free, okay? So if you're out there thinking that someone out there is going to teach you that shit for free, that shit ain't going to happen, okay? Because even right now, even when we offer to pay money to somebody else to teach us how to manage a large portfolio, there ain't even people available to even teach us, okay? So that's the reality of it when you get bigger in your trading career, okay? So get educated, guys, right? I recommend that you guys get the cryptocurrency investing blueprint because that's a very huge head start for you and anyone else that's serious, okay? So that's what we're doing in the background. When you don't see us on camera, that's what we're doing in the background, okay? The last question here, guys, number 7 is the team focused and specialized, okay? So we've had lots of opportunities because we're a popular channel and we were one of the first channels to start talking about trading and investing in cryptocurrencies way back when nobody else even knew what the hell it was and everybody thought that it would not last, right? Because of our, standing in the cryptocurrency space, because we were, one of the first channels that I know of to talk about trading and investing in crypto, we get offers almost every freaking day from all types of blockchain business, any business out there that's talking about making money, internet marketing, multi-level marketing, blockchain space, equity. We get offered all kinds of shit every freaking day, right? And some of them I have time to respond to and say no, we're not interested. Some of them are just sounds really fishy, so I just don't even bother responding to them. Okay, so we get offered opportunities on a daily basis, dozens of opportunities. Okay. And we have to say no to most of them. The reason why is because when me and David and Leon came together, our focus was to build a digital product or service online that we can get recurring revenues from, whether it's a software, whether it's educational videos or anything like that. We want to not only create that educational video and software, we wanted to create it in the trading and investing space only. We don't want to go outside of that into other areas. We just want to be really good and become the best channel on the planet for people who are serious about learning, trading, and investing in blockchains and cryptocurrencies and things like that, right? That's what we want to focus on, okay? And so anything else outside of that, we really don't care about it. Like, there's opportunities to make money here, there's opportunities to make that, we really don't give a shit about that. Our goal is to focus on becoming the absolute best, to become the Porsche, become the Ferrari, become the Lamborghini of trading and investing education in the blockchain space. That's all we care about. We want to build the best educational material to help traders learn and master the art of trading, and we want to build the software to make it easier for them to learn that and facilitate that and manage their portfolios, right? And that's all we care about, is about trading and investing, okay? And making life-changing money. Anything outside of that, we don't even give a shit about it. We're not here to scalp the markets and make 10, 20 bucks or 50 bucks like that. We're here to make a large sum of money that can dramatically change our lifestyle and the way we live, and then change and help our families out, okay? And outside of that, we don't care about nothing else, okay? So if you guys come to us and approach us with projects to invest in or to look at or to review, if it has to do with making a large, life-changing profits or money in the trading and investing space, we will be happy to look at it. Outside of that, we do not care to look at it, okay, guys, right? So those are the 7 questions, guys, that I would highly recommend that you guys look at. I've used a ton of examples from our channel, our company, our business, our founders, right, and my business partners as an example that you guys can relate with, and I've used tons of examples of other blockchain and crypto projects that you guys can look at and see how they compare. And these are the 7 questions that I want to get good answers on before I put a dollar into that crypto project, guys. Okay, so I hope you guys like these types of videos on how we review and look at the projects that we invest in to make sure, and this is one of the ways, this is a small fraction of how we do our due diligence on the project. If you guys are interested in learning how we comprehensively look at and review a project before we put money into it, and the other components that are available that we consider before putting our money into it, and this is all part of our due diligence process and system, guys. The cryptocurrency investing blueprint is basically a comprehensive way of how our team, right, looks at the markets and looks at the projects and how we do our due diligence on it and how we calculate how much of our money in our portfolio that we put onto it, and then when to get in and when to get out, and when we add more to it and when we decrease our position and our bet size on it and start selling some of the tokens, or add more tokens or decrease the number of tokens we have in that project. If you are interested in becoming a serious trader or investor in the cryptocurrency space, I highly recommend that you go check out www.cryptocurrency.market/blueprint. Get you a copy and learn from it. Email me any questions you have when you go through it, and we'll help you out the best that we can. If you're a bullshitter and you have no serious interest in being committed to succeeding in becoming a badass trader or investor in the cryptocurrency space, please do not bother going there and wasting our time, okay? We are looking to help serious traders and investors only. We are not looking to help tire kickers, bullshitters, and people who don't want to take responsibility for their actions, okay? So thanks for watching this video. You can follow me at Hey Tai Zen on Twitter, and you can make sure that you go to our site and subscribe to this video and subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you guys in a future video, okay? So thanks, and I'll catch you guys later.